Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're cutting straight through the hype to tackle a absolutely massive enterprise AI challenge, and that's getting these models out of the lab and into actual scalable production. Using Anthropic's new framework, Building Trusted AI in the enterprise, we're going to break down the exact structural gaps that are holding your deployments back. If you're a product leader, an AI transformation lead, or a CEO, you know this friction all too well. So let's dive right into exactly what's going wrong, and more importantly, how we fix it. Right off the bat, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. Pilot purgatory. We've all been there, right? You get the executive buy-in, your engineers build this absolutely amazing proof of concept, and then, well, it just stalls. It never actually scales. Anthropic's report really hits the nail on the head here. It highlights that while organizations have this immense enthusiasm for AI, they completely lack the standardized frameworks needed to weave these tools into their core operational workflows. You're experimenting, sure, but you're just hitting a massive wall of inertia. And honestly, the cost of failing to deploy is getting incredibly steep. To really anchor the financial stakes here, just think about this number, 10%. According to Anthropic's research, the top-performing organizations are already attributing over 10% of their earnings to generative AI implementations. Whether it's support teams responding 30% faster or engineers drastically slashing their coding time, the business impact is proven. It's real. If your projects are stuck in pilot purgatory, you aren't just missing out on some fun new tech trend, you are actively losing ground to competitors who are getting this right now.
Now here's where it gets kind of wild. There is this stark, honestly massive contrast between what we build and what we actually ship. In your sandbox environments, your teams are probably building really sophisticated level 3 demos. We're talking advanced AI agents, complex multi-step workflows, self-correcting systems, the whole shebang. But in reality, organizations are only shipping level 1 implementations, basic chat interactions, and single-turn prompts. It's literally like showing your board a fully autonomous self-driving car, but then only letting your employees use a bicycle. This huge delta between prototyped capabilities and safe actual deployment, that is the core of the problem.
So what's actually going on here? Well, here is the absolutely crucial takeaway. Your underlying AI model is not the problem. The failure actually stems from a massive gap in deployment infrastructure, what we in the industry call LMOps. When we look at stalled organizations, we see the exact same gaps every single time. No written graduation criteria, none. No prompt version control, no systematic evaluation, and absolutely zero production monitoring. Honestly, they are treating enterprise software deployment like a weekend science fair project, and it completely bottlenecks their ability to scale.
Okay, so how do we fix it? The primary solution from Anthropic is standardizing your scaling framework through mandatory graduation criteria. Basically, these are predefined thresholds for performance, operational readiness, and risk management that definitively signal, yes, this pilot is ready for production. Think about traditional software, right? We have beta phases, we have clear sign-offs. By defining exactly what success looks like on paper before the pilot even begins, you totally remove that subjective hesitation that keeps projects trapped in testing. If it hits the numbers, it graduates, period.
Now, these criteria basically rest on 3 totally non-negotiable pillars. First up, performance thresholds. You need hard, quantitative targets for accuracy metrics, latency improvements, and cost efficiencies. Second, operational readiness, meaning is your system actually stable, and is your team actually capable of managing the tool once it goes live? And third, risk management. You absolutely must have predefined thresholds for security compliance and strict data protection. If your pilot cannot definitively check the box on all 3 of these pillars, it simply doesn't scale.
Which brings us to your ultimate takeaway. I want you to really ask yourself, are your AI initiatives actually driving enterprise value, or are they just expensive science experiments? The technology is ready, but your operational infrastructure, yeah, it likely isn't. So here is your concrete action item for this week. Mandate that your team drafts written graduation criteria for just 1 active pilot before Friday. Stop testing indefinitely, force the conversation around exact thresholds, define what graduation actually looks like, and finally get your AI out of the lab and into production.